It just happened again. Kendrick Lamar's critically acclaimed, genre-breaking project GNX has pulled off the impossible, re-entering Germany's Apple Music Top 10 and knocking Drake clean off the board. Let that sink in. An album that dropped months ago, with zero major label push, no radio-friendly singles, and no flashy marketing campaigns, just climbed back into one of Europe's most competitive charts. And the artist it dethroned, Drake, the streaming king, the self-proclaimed global superstar. But GNX didn't just return, it surged. From Jinga Arshabat to Jinga Joel in under 72 hours. Why? Because a storm is brewing. German fans say they're done with empty luxury. TikTok is calling GNX the only real rap album with global soul. And inside sources say this sudden spike might be tied to a powerful live leak from Kendrick's overseas rehearsal that left fans speechless and Drake completely silent. Germany is activated, and Kendrick is rewriting the rules again. But this goes deeper than just numbers. This feels like the beginning of a European takeover. What just happened in Germany might be the warning shot for the rest of the world. Kendrick Lamar didn't need a hit single to shake the culture. No billboards, no interviews, no viral dance challenges. He just dropped GNX, a body of work so raw, so layered, and so unpredictable, it's still unraveling months after release. But what happened this week in Germany? That wasn't a comeback. That was a declaration. Let's rewind. When GNX first dropped, critics called it too cerebral, too dense, a slow burn. But Kendrick knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't aiming for the charts. He was aiming for legacy. He built GNX like a time capsule. A slow-building storm of jazz-inspired samples, Germanic orchestration, haunting voice memos, and coded political commentary. Even the rollout broke convention. No warning. No features. No Magia Circus, just a single post from PG Lang that read, "For those who still listen. For those who still feel." The fans. They showed up. But the charts didn't reflect the album's depth, at least. Not at first. Meanwhile, Drake was everywhere. Streaming charts, playlist covers, European tour dates with luxury-sponsored pop-ups, and VIP-only, MEET-ups. In Germany, especially, Drake dominated. His 2025 release Champagne Seasons was seen as a Eurocentric. Pivotal-tuned verses over house beats, lyrics about fast cars, Paris fashion, and Zurich love affairs. For months, it worked. Drake held top chart spots in Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, and Cologne, and Kendrick. GNX hovered quietly outside the top 20, respected, revered, but buried under mainstream gloss. Until now. The shift began in Braunschweig. Started as a whisper, a grainy clip leaked on TikTok from a GNX-themed underground listening party in Berlin dark room. Projector lights, a lone voice, Kendrick, rapping an unreleased verse beneath concrete archways. The caption, "It's not done with us yet." The video hit 1.6 million views in just 12 hours. German fans began posting clips of themselves revisiting GNX, this time with translated lyric breakdowns, Reddit-style explators, and think pieces titled, "Drake's music plays at you. Kendrick's lives in you. Why Germany just understood GNX 6 months late." This isn't rap. This is resistance. Spotify streams doubled. Apple Music saw a 3-day spike. By day 4, GNX had jumped 19 spots, landing at #9.Drake, had been holding strong in Germany's top 10 for 17 straight weeks, his longest European chart run in over 2 years. His team was reportedly gearing up for a celebratory live-stream concert in Berlin. But once GNX overtook his spot, everything changed, plans cancelled. No statement, no tweet. Just silence. But behind the scenes, tension was real. An insider connected to a major European venue revealed Drake's camp was blindsided. They thought Kendrick's album had cooled off. No one saw Germany flipping like this. And then, Apple Music Germany made it crystal clear. They removed Champagne Seasons from its homepage banner the same day, replacing it with a stark, black and white portrait of Kendrick Lamar, eyes closed. Above it, the words, "GNX, the return." Why Germany? Because Germany isn't just another market, it's one of the most data-driven, trend-setting territories in Europe. What charts in Germany often bleeds into Eastern European playlists, Nordic rotations, and rising global rhapsodies like Amsterdam, Warsaw, and Prague. This GNX resurgence, it wasn't a fluke. It was a flare, and the entire industry took notice. Because if Kendrick can dethrone Drake in Germany with no promo, no single, and no tour stop, What happens when he actually decides to push? By the time GNX re-entered the top 10, the message was clear. This wasn't just about numbers. This was the start of a digital rebellion, and Kendrick was its reluctant general. This momentum didn't come from ads, or billboards, or playlist politics. It came from the fans. And that made it dangerous, the secret performance that changed everything just days before GNX's chart spike. A mysterious video appeared on a low-traffic YouTube channel called Rap Watch Berlin. The title? K. Lamar GNX Rehearsal. Unknown venue, 4K, no intro, no hashtags. Just Kendrick, standing alone in a shadowy warehouse, performing what appeared to be a completely reimagined version of GNX's closing track, Colonnade. But this version wasn't on the album. It featured live saxophones, German choral, Schansand, a haunting sample possibly from a real political protest. Then came the final blow. At the end of the performance, Kendrick walks to the camera and says, "They always told me Europe loves aesthetics, but now, they see the architecture in pain too. Maybe they weren't listening before. Maybe now they're ready." Boom. That quote hit like a bomb. The clip exploded across Telegram, Reddit, and even on political blogs. TikTok edits quickly followed. Some captioned, "Kendrick didn't market to Germany, he spoke to it." Within 24 hours, German university lecturers were analyzing GNX in sociology classes. Cindy bookstores hosted poetry nights. Themed letters from GNX art galleries in Berlin screened GNX-inspired visual loops on Kendrick's name started trending, alongside protest slogans. Meanwhile, Drake's camp was scrambling. The Drake reaction. Insiders say Champagne Seasons completely ignored Germany in its rollout strategy. Drake was focused on the UK, France, and Italy. Germany was considered a passive market. But then Kendrick took their spot. And worse. It wasn't just a chart shift. Apple Music's internal editorial team had allegedly begun reprioritizing Kendrick across multiple European regions. A leaked Slack message supposedly from a verified Apple Music Germany staffer circulated on Discord. It read, "Kendrick data's real. Engagement greater than plays. We're recommending GNX for full homepage rotation. Even Beats One Germany is requesting interview access." And the line that shook fans the most. Drake's numbers are solid. Kendrick's impact is exploding. That's when things got personal. A Music Business Worldwide report, published anonymously, claimed a Drake-affiliated executive made a direct call to Apple's European curation lead. The conversation? Well, you want to know what happened. Why? The switch. Why push a 6-month-old album now? The response from Apple allegedly was, "We didn't push it. The listeners did. We're following the signal." That only made tensions. The first official in a surprising counterplay, OVO suddenly dropped a remix pack of Champagne Moons, one of Drake's top-performing tracks in Europe. It included a German-language verse from a rising Berlin rapper, a club remix produced by a popular Dutch house DJ, a sped-up TikTok edit aimed at viral reach. The message was clear: we're taking Germany back. But fans instantly called it what it was: reactionary. One quote from a Berlin music vlogger went viral: "Drake's throwing glitter on a broken mirror. Kendrick already handed us the truth." Chart games exposed. Then came the real twist. A whistleblower from a European DSP digital service provider leaked back-end screenshots, allegedly, showing playlist padding, where Champagne Season tracks had been included in over 200 law-level German playlists over the past 2 weeks. Despite user skips skyrocketing, translation, Drake's streams were being propped up artificially through placements. While Kendrick was rising organically, the leak led to a trending topic, #artificial seasons. And comments like, "Drake's music plays everywhere but gets skipped halfway. Kendrick's music plays once and rewrites your week." Germany didn't switch up. They just finally tuned in. By the time Apple Music confirmed GNX had overtaken Drake in Germany, fans weren't just celebrating a chart win, they were decoding a blueprint. Kendrick wasn't just climbing numbers. He was constructing a continental message, and Berlin was only the first domino. The Berlin art blockade started in silence. Visitors at Berlin's Haus der Kulturen, der Welt, one of the city's most respected modern art museums, were treated to a private after-hours exhibit called The Architecture of Noise. Only about 30 people were invited, no phones allowed. The exhibit was billed as a sonic installation by an unnamed American interdisciplinary artist. But by morning whispers were everywhere. That voice, That was Kendrick. That was GNX Extended. A grainy voice recording leaked from someone who snuck in an audio recorder. It included a 9-minute unreleased piece, blending GNX instrumentals with German field recordings, public speeches, political chants, and transit system alerts. Midway through the track, Kendrick's voice whispered, "Noise is only disruptive until you listen." It was haunting, mesmerizing. And then came the twist, a familiar voice. Deep melodic, answered him. "Some of us live in noise. Others just visit. We bring melody to your chaos." That voice, fans recognized it instantly. Yope, the UK's Queen of Smooth. Resistance had just entered the GNX orbit. Yoja breaks her silence. Yoja breaks her silence. Yoja Smith reposted a fan's breakdown of the Berlin leak and captioned it, "What happens in Berlin? Let the art breathe." And just like that, the UK started catching wind of something deeper. Joria's cosign wasn't casual. She had just come off a critically acclaimed Salja EP that addressed post-Brexit identity. Now, she was collaborating with Kendrick on GNX territory. This isn't a feature, this is a fellowship. Joria saw the architecture and picked up a hammer. Fans began calling her the First Lady of PG Lang Europe, and then just hours after the Berlin audio leaked, a flyer appeared online. Minimalist design. White background. One symbol, the PG Lang diamond, and 2 words, Euro broadcast, GNX location, TBA date, TBA, but it included a QR code which led to an encrypted countdown, 0 hours, 9 minutes, and 52 seconds. 17 translation, 9 days, 52 hours, 17 minutes. Something was coming. PG Lang is building Siam. Insiders confirmed the flyer was real. A well-placed source at a French creative agency tweeted then deleted. "We just delivered the first round of assets to PG Lang. Think less concert and more multi-site sonic protest." The working title, GNX, the frequency event, and it's reportedly set to include pre-programmed audio takeovers of train station, PA systems across Europe, coordinated flash mob readings of GNX lyrics in 5 capital cities, an unreleased Kendrick Times Joria Live short film to be projected on public monuments in Berlin, Paris, and Amsterdam, all within a 72-hour window. This is no tour. This is disruption. Drake's camp tries to strike back. Meanwhile, Drake's team scrambled to pull together a countermove. A rumored pop-up concert in Paris was quietly pitched to multiple venues, but leaks say most of them declined. A French promoter told a German hip-hop blog, "The streets are talking Kendrick. The brands want Drake. But right now the streets are louder." Drake's response. A now deleted IG story showing him lounging on a yacht in the Mediterranean. Caption, "Let the poets play in the dirt. I'm above all that." Bro fans immediately dragged it. You can't dismiss dirt when you used to rap about your roots. Kendrick built legacy. You booked a layover. It's not luxury, that's a dodge. The backlash was instant and brutal. Then it became official. The Apple Music playlist switched. Sach FTN, Apple Music Germany updated its Best of Global Hip Hop playlist. For the first time in over a year, a Kendrick track held the #1 slot. Not a new release. Not a remix. The GNX track Colonnade, a spoken word narrative piece now leading the charge. Right under it, Georgia Smith, Blue Window, rumored to sample Kendrick's GNX interlude. Drake dropped to #11.Spotify, Germany followed, 24 hours later, creating a new playlist called Noise and Reflection. Rap that moves you. Cover photos, Kendrick in Grays Khaled. The shocking endgame came with the real curveball. On the final page of a leaked PG Lang planning doc verified by multiple sources, there was one chilling note. This isn't about a chart war. This is the test run. GNX Europe is the first trial. The next signal is for America. Fans are now speculating that Kendrick's GNX, the frequency event, might just be the start of a global rollout plan. One built on physical art, grassroots rebellion, cultural disruption. This isn't about music, it's about messaging. And Kendrick's message. Legacy moves through noise. The quiet ones are the loudest. By now, GNX wasn't just a sleeper album that made a comeback. It was the heartbeat of a rising cultural shift across Europe. Kendrick Lamar had done the unthinkable turn to chart resurgence into a full-blown movement, not with celebrity selfies, not with dance challenges, but with sonic architecture, wordplay, and resistance in rhythm. And the people they responded. The fan rebellion turned to Reddit and YouTube. Exploded with international fan reactions. But it wasn't just teenagers in baggy hoodies, it was students, activists, and art kids. One Berlin-based creator went viral with a short doc-style breakdown. Why GNX feels like a warning, over 3.1 million views in 24 hours. In it, he said, "Drake gave us champagne. Kendrick gave us scars. One fades in the morning, the other gums memory." Another fan on Twitter posted a photo of her tattoo. A GNX lyric in German across her forearm. Caption: "This is a fellowship." Joria saw the architecture and picked up a hammer. Fans began calling her the First Lady of PG Lang Europe. And then just hours after the Berlin audio leaked, a flyer appeared online. Minimalist design. White background. One symbol. The PG Lang diamond. And 2 words. Euro broadcast. GNX location. TBA date. TBA. But it included a QR code which led to an encrypted countdown. 0 hours, 9 minutes, and 52 seconds. 17 translation. 9 days, 52 hours, 17 minutes. Something was coming. PG Lang is building Siam Tour. Insiders confirmed the flyer was real. A well-placed source at a French creative agency tweeted, then deleted, "We just delivered the first round of assets to PG Lang. Think less concert and more multi-site sonic protest." The working title, GNX, the frequency event, and it's reportedly set to include pre-programmed audio takeovers of train station PA systems across Europe, coordinated flash mob readings of GNX lyrics in 5 capital cities, an unreleased Kendrick x Joria live short film to be projected on public monuments in Berlin, Paris, and Amsterdam, all within a 72-hour window. This is no tour. This is disruption. Drake's camp tries to strike back. Meanwhile, Drake's team scrambled to pull together a countermove. A rumored pop-up concert in Paris was quietly pitched to multiple venues, but leaks say most of them declined. A French promoter told a German hip-hop blog, "The streets are talking Kendrick. The brands want Drake, but right now the streets are louder." Drake's response: a now-deleted IG story, showing him lounging on a yacht in the Mediterranean. Caption: "Let the poets play in the dirt. I'm above all that." Bro. Fans immediately dragged it. You can't dismiss dirt when you used to rap about your roots. Kendrick built legacy. You booked a layover. It's not luxury. That's a dodge. The backlash was instant and brutal. Then it became official. The Apple Music playlist switched. Sach FTN. Apple Music Germany updated its Best of Global Hip Hop playlist. For the first time in over a year, a Kendrick track held the #1 slot. Not a new release. Not AREMIX. The GNX track Colonnade, a spoken word narrative, Heist now leading the charge. Right under it, Georgia's Meech, Blue Window, rumored to sample Kendrick's GNX interlude. Drake dropped to #11.Spotify. Germany followed. 24 hours later, creating a new playlist called Noise and Reflection. Rap that moves you. Cover photo. Kendrick in GRAYSCAL. Ellie. The shocking endgame came with the real curveball on the final page of a leaked PG Lang planning doc verified by multiple sources. There was one chilling note. This isn't about a chart war. This is the test run. GNX Europe is the first trial. The next signal is for America. Fans are now speculating that Kendrick's GNX, the frequency event, might just be the start of a global rollout plan. One built on physical art. Grassroots rebellion. Cultural disruption. This isn't about music. It's about messaging. And Kendrick's message. Legacy moves through noise. The quiet ones are the loudest. By now, GNX wasn't just a sleeper album that made a comeback. It was the heartbeat of a rising cultural shift across Europe. Kendrick Lamar had done the unthinkable, turned a chart resurgence into a full-blown movement, not with celebrity selfies, not with dance challenges, but with sonic architecture, wordplay, and resistance in rhythm. And the people, they responded. The fan rebellion turned to Reddit and YouTube, exploded with international fan reactions. But it wasn't just teenagers in baggy hoodies, it was students, activists, and art kids. One Berlin-based creator went viral with a short doc-style breakdown. Why GNX feels like a warning, over 3.1 million views in 24 hours. In it, he said, "Drake gave us champagne. Kendrick gave us scars. One fades in the morning. The other gums memory." Another fan on Twitter posted a photo of her tattoo. A GNX lyric in German across her forearm. Caption: "This project didn't change the game. It ignored it and built its own." European media backs Kendrick. Mainstream press couldn't ignore it. Spiegel published a front-page opinion piece titled, Kendrick Lamar's GNX, a protest album without the signs. Le Monde France called it, the first post-classic. The Guardian UK published a glowing editorial. Drake gave us a playlist. Kendrick handed us a blueprint. Even Rolling Stone Europe quietly bumped GNX to number 3 in their Best Albums of the Year ranking, weeks before year-end lists were scheduled to publish. One anonymous quote from an editor at Pitchfork Europe said, "Everyone expected Kendrick to disappear after GNX. Instead, he let the world catch up." J. Cole finally chimes in. And then, the moment hip-hop fans had been waiting for. J. Cole posted on Threads. They slept on for your IAs only 4 years. They did the same with GNX. Some music don't age, ripens. The post was subtle, but the intention, loud. Cole even shared a playlist titled Patience. Track 1, Colonnade by Kendrick Lamar. Track 2, Folding Clothes. Caption, some art, ain't supposed to pop. Supposed to stay with you. Fans called it the Silent Alliance. Kendrick, Cole, Joria. This ain't rap beef. This is rap balance. While one side's chasing stats, the other's chasing stillness, industry starts shifting. That's when things got serious. Multiple sources, inside Universal Music and Warner Brothers, revealed that internal teams were now studying GNX's European performance data, analyzing organic virality versus paid promotions. Researchers have been diving deep into Kendrick's low-volume, high-impact strategy. A German label executive told Music Business Worldwide, "GX isn't just trending, it's reshaping how we think about international longevity." Kendrick didn't create a viral moment. He created a living document, and then came the twist. A new award category. Multiple award committees, including the European Music Awards, Berlin Art Prize, and even the Deutsche Music Prize, are now reportedly in talks to create a new designation, Cultural Sound Installation. This would recognize musical projects that impact not just charts or ticket sales, but academic, political, and social spheres. The first name being considered, you guessed it, Kendrick Lamar. GNX. A leaked quote from the proposal read, "GNX defies genre. It engaged architecture, protest, and poetry. It is the first of its kind and demands its own recognition. And PG Lang remains a ceiling while all this unfolds. No statements, no press releases, no social media reposts. Their only move. A subtle edit to their website's homepage. Now, at the very bottom of the page, there's a single rotating phrase in white text. What charts call noise, we call signal. What Europe calls now, we called months ago. What comes next doesn't have a genre. No links, no context, just the storm continuing to build, and still, the countdown on the GNX broadcast page kept ticking. 5 days, 6 cities, a signal the world might not be ready for. As the countdown reached its final hours, tension spread everywhere. Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam, London. Fans were flooding public spaces, watching digital clocks tick toward zero. No instructions, no artist announcements, just a single whisper across PG Lang's site. Be still, then listen. And then the leak. The location. Expo SDN, an anonymous user on Reddit, posting under the name Langsignal_93, dropped a screenshot of an encrypted email allegedly sent from PG Lang's internal server. Subject line, GNX broadcast node, Brandenburg Gate. Brandenburg Gate, the most iconic monument in Germany. A site of historical protest. A place where walls once divided, and voices once rose. The message included one more chilling detail. Full audio-visual stream activated at 9 p.m. CET. Duration, 17 minutes, 12 seconds. Audio format, interlaced plus coded vocals. Public, visibility, inevitable. The broadcast that broke everything. Exactly at 9 p.m. Brandenburg Gate's lighting system flickered and cut. Projectors embedded in nearby rooftops activated simultaneously. Crowds, unaware, uninvited, froze. And then came the sound. Not a song, not a performance, a transmission. Kendrick's voice slowed, filtered, haunting. You looked at charts. I looked at cities. You posted playlists. I planted echoes. Now, can you hear it? Over the next 17 minutes, the gate became a screen. Shadowy visuals, crumbling cathedrals, distorted maps, melting platinum plaques. Behind it all, unreleased GNX vocals, political samples, crowd noise, and a whisper from Joria Smith. Some music isn't meant to be played. It's meant to be remembered. Meanwhile, Drake, minutes before the broadcast began, Drake posted an IG story, a looping video of him in a studio, nodding to an unreleased track. Caption: "Y'all love signals. I build satellites. Don't worry, I'm launching." The internet roasted him instantly. Bro, Kendrick projected a revolution on a monument. You're bobbing your head in a mood light. You can't outart a broadcast with a preview. This ain't OVO Fest. This is history. Even XXL magazine tweeted, "Drake lost Germany, and maybe Europe, too." Then came the final screen at the end of the broadcast. GNX Europe, Phase 1 complete time stop. 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Location, recalculating, and then silence. No merch, no tour, no stream links. Just silence. The aftermath. Hashtag GNX Berlin trended #1 worldwide. Concert promoters called it the most powerful non-performance in music history. Berlin's mayor tweeted, "Tonight, we saw art interrupt the city. It asked for nothing and gave everything." Apple Music updated Kendrick's artist bio in Germany, not just a rapper, a disruption system. Drake stayed silent. But fans noticed one more thing on PG Lang's homepage. After the broadcast ended, a new line of text appeared. Phase 2 Origin, Detroit, and the countdown started again. You just witnessed it, not a rollout, not a comeback, not even a concert. What Kendrick Lamar and PG Lang just did in Germany. That was cultural warfare disguised as art. No streaming party. No interviews, no hashtags, begging for attention, just impact. They let the music speak. And Europe answered. Drake tried to counter with luxury, with volume, with status, but Kendrick came with silence and made the whole continent listen. Now we have questions for you. Was this the start of a new global chapter in rap history? Did Kendrick just prove the world is hungry for meaning over metrics? And with Phase 2 now pointing to Detroit, are we about to see GNX erupt on American soil? Let us know in the comments. Where do you stand in this cultural clash? Are you riding with satellites and soft launches, or are you tuned into the frequency? Don't just watch from the sidelines. Like if you felt that broadcast hit deeper than any playlist. Subscribe for every update as GNX heads toward its next signal strike. Hit that bell because Phase 2 is coming fast, and if Berlin taught us anything, it's that this isn't just about who's streaming, it's about who's listening. And Kendrick listens to the world.